Hello, and welcome to Sound Traveler's Audio Adventures. Tune in your world. Today, we're going to take a trip to the Tuscan coast of Italy and the amazing, ever-evolving city of Pisa. Along the way, you'll get the chance to ascend leaning towers, marvel at 12th century baptistries, sip espresso along the Arno River, and dive into Pisa's rich historic patrimony. Long considered a second-tier tourist draw, Pisa is seeing a 21st century renaissance of sorts. The main reason for this modern opening up is a new direct flight from New York's JFK. No longer do travelers need to fly into Rome or Milan to experience La Dolce Vita. They can fly direct on Delta Airlines. The new route also means the rest of Tuscany, with its Etruscan hilltop villages, magical skies, rambling vineyards, and storied cities such as Florence and Siena, is suddenly within easy reach for U.S. visitors looking for a short, relaxing trip to Italy. Any journey to Pisa will certainly begin and end at the Campo dei Miracoli, also known as the Field of Miracles. Along with the less visited but nonetheless impressive Duomo, Baptistry, and Cemetery is the Torre Pendente, better known to the world as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Construction on the bell tower began in 1173 and lasted some 200 years. And while climbing its 294 steps is certainly a worthwhile endeavor, you'll need to travel back in time to really understand the architectural and cultural roots of this modern-day marvel. While Pisa has been inhabited since Greek times, it wasn't until the late 9th century that the city really began to gain power. With its strategic location on the Arno River, the city rivaled the power centers of Venice and Genoa. And by the 12th century, Pisa controlled Corsica, Sardinia, and much of the mainland coast. In the Leaning Tower, you'll see a strong Roman influence in the architecture. But look closely at the arching windows, and you see that architect Bonanno Pisano was probably also influenced by Arabic architectural styling. So why does this Leaning Tower lean? Was Pisano just a really bad architect? Was his left leg 10 inches shorter than his right? Or did he do it on purpose, knowing that such an architectural oddity would ensure the town's legacy far into the second millennium? All we know today is that the tower began leaning by the time the architect had completed 3 tiers, probably due to shifting soils. From then on, it began its slow slouch at a heart-rending rate of 1 millimeter per year, until 1998, when modern engineers were able to attach cables to the 3rd story, shoring up the tower. It is now about 4.1 meters off the perpendicular, and if the cables hold, it should stay that way for years to come. So you've done it. You've ascended through the interior spiraling staircase, up some 55 meters, that's about 180 feet, to the top of the bell tower. Up here beneath the sparkling Tuscan sky, the sky of Galileo Galilei, the sky that over the ages has provided inspiration to poets and painters, songsmiths and soldiers. Up here you will find an unbearable lightness that only Tuscany can emote. You also catch glimpses of the Apuane Alps, to the north, where the marble of Carrara has been quarried since Roman times. The more demure Pisan Mountains lie just north and east. To the south, you catch glimpses of the city center, and looking west, you get a bird's eye view of the rest of the Field of Miracles, the cathedral, the domed baptistry, and the neighboring cemetery. The massive Duomo, the medieval Cathedral of St. Mary, sits just west of the Leaning Tower. Work on the church, with its signature forest green and cream marble interior, began in 1064. It is Pisan Romanesque architecture at its finest, illustrating Byzantine, Arabic, and Roman influences all at once, and all together. Opposite the Duomo is the unusual baptistry, dedicated to the original baptizer of men, St. John. It is the largest baptistry in Italy, and including the St. John statue on top, is actually a few centimeters taller than the Leaning Tower. Work began on the baptistry sometime in the mid-12th century. The bottom half certainly evinces the Pisan Romanesque school of building, but look up to the crowning loggia, which was built some 2 centuries later to see a bit of the old Gothic influence. From the baptistry, head north to sacred grounds, the Camposanto Monumentale, or the Monumental Cemetery. Legend has it that this walled cemetery was built around a shipload of sacramental soil from Golgotha. Work began on this Gothic cemetery in the late 13th century. Today, you'll be able to see sarcophagi of wealthy Pisans from the Middle Ages, as well as some of Greco-Roman origin. While the building was badly damaged during World War II, today you can still see portions of the 14th century frescoes, including the Triumph of Death and Last Judgment. Beyond the Field of Miracles lies the less visited city center of Pisa, a town of tight, coiling medieval side streets, of world-class universities, a town of passion, light, and imagination. Whether you spend just a day or stay around for a week, getting to know the Pisa beyond the tower will never disappoint. This is Greg Benchwick, signing off from the banks of the River Arno. Arrivederci!